and congratulations on attending this chart analysis seminar. It'll be short, and we'll go over some really interesting markets, and we have some interesting news about our Market Central. But as always, we have a risk disclosure, essentially reminding you that, as you probably know, there's a risk of loss of trading pretty much in any market and any time frame. And if you want to look at the whole risk disclosure, you can go to this link down here. So a brief overview of what the agenda will be. I'll be doing a chart analysis. I'll be going over some markets like the S&P, Bitcoin, Nvidia, some Forex markets, and so forth. And keep in mind, even if you don't trade these or invest in these markets, everything I'll be doing during the session is applicable in any market in any time frame. So with that, let me switch over to my TradingView charting service. There we go. All right, so we'll start with the S&P. So with the S&P, the trend is up, and we could see this is today, by the way, it's an all-time high close on the S&P. Although it moved intraday, there's a daily chart, it moved higher intraday last week. Remember, the top of the green real body is the close, so this is the all-time high close in the S&P, and pretty much our only resistance area, since the market is in uncharted territory, are the highs over here. And as to support, okay, one of my favorite candle signals, a rising window. And by the way, what I'm doing now, and some of these markets you see on the right side, this is something we do each day. We go over these markets each day in our Market Central, and we do a lot more. Paul will give you details about that. About midway, after I go through a few charts, he'll get on, as I mentioned earlier, and then I'll get back on and do some more chart analysis. Anyway, here's a rising window. And just FYI, the bottom of the rising window is the most important part of the window. And you can see how the S&P got within a few ticks of the bottom of the rising window. Long lower shadow held the support there, and from there it rallied. So that is our first support area, is the bottom of this rising window here. And this is a right over here. Let me get rid of this here. Okay, let me just close off Nissen Candle Scanner. Make a little that Nissen Candle Scanner software that automatically highlights my favorite candle signal, but I just want to have the charts clean to go over the chart analysis. Okay, here we have a long lower shadow, a hammer-like session as a potential support area. You see the similar thing here over there. So this is our second support area. So although it's hovering here, I have the short-term trend is up, and as I mentioned, a new high close for the market. Now, another popular market, gold, as it zooms, making all-time highs intraday and an all-time high close. And so there was a major breakout. Okay. It moved above this resistance area intraday, but it didn't close above it. This is, by the way, called the high wave candle. This is a daily chart. And a high wave candle is a long candle with a long upper and lower shadow. And it doesn't turn the trend down, but it makes it more neutral, because the long upper shadow shows the market rallied and then sold off and rallied toward the close. So it's an uncertain environment, essentially. The trend has gone from up to a bit more neutral. All right. So and you can see what happened after. So, but once the market closed above it, okay, that was the bullish breakout, and it moved higher much quickly, very quickly. So now getting a support area on this daily chart is a little bit challenging because the rally was so intense. So what we'll do is we'll look at an intraday chart to get potential support or resistance area. Because sometimes you'll see things on the intraday you don't see on the daily. So here we have an hourly. Now, one of our favorite strategies is what we call change of polarity, where an old resistance area, once broken, should become support. So you see how the market closed above it, and look what became support. So again, this is an hourly, but it shows you that you can use an hourly to kind of get hidden insight. So this would actually be my first support area. By the way, here we have a doji, and this doji confirmed a resistance area. So normally a doji in and of itself turns the trend from up to neutral, but when you have a doji confirming a prior high, the odds of the market turning are a lot higher. Then you had this little red candle wrapping around the doji. That's a bearish engulfing pattern. I'll show you that in NCS. See a little minus E? That means bearish engulfing pattern. So even if it's a doji as the first candle, it's still considered a bearish engulfing pattern. So that increased the likelihood of the market reversing. Then we had a bullish engulfing pattern here. Anyway, so the change of polarity is my first support, again, based on the intraday. And then we're looking at the same thing over here, this prior resistance area. Notice how we got within a few dollars of it with the bullish engulfing pattern. So I'll make a zone over here as second support. And then the major lows here. This was a hammer. Again, this is all on the intraday. So now we go back to the daily. I get rid of this. And these are the support zones based on the hourly. Because there's really no support. It rallied so much, there's no areas of congestion here. So S1, first support, S2, second support, and S3 is third support. And that's based on the intraday analysis I did on the hourly chart. And once again, you could do the same sort of analysis, whether it's an intraday chart, a daily chart, or a weekly chart. Okay, let's look at Nvidia. Oops, whoops. Yeah, let me do that a little bit later. Actually, let me look at Apple first. Because that was in the news today. Okay, so the short-term trend is down. Here we had a doji. Okay, doji becomes resistance sometimes. So that's our first resistance. And then we'll look at a little long-term daily chart. And then I'll give you some support areas. Okay, the change of polarity. See the support here, here, and here? It broke under it and look what became resistance. So that'd be R2. And then, of course, the highs over here. But let me look at the potential support area. So let me remove these. Okay, so here we have a rising window. So the whole window is potential support. And as I mentioned with the S&P, it's the bottom of the window that's the key support area. So, but it's the whole window. But I would, so this is S1 actually, the first support area. And with the key support under here, and then we could see right over here. And actually, I'd make this my first support, change of polarity. Okay, so that's where the window begins. So we could actually, and just closed on it. So this would be the first potential support area. But even if it closed under it, it's the whole zone here of support. So I'm viewing this as our first support area right here. And then second support would be over there. And then third support would be potentially the change of polarity. Okay, and then I'll look at Nvidia, and then I'll turn it over to Paul for a couple of minutes, and we'll be going over PLTR and Bitcoin and some Forex markets. So let me see why I like windows. Here's a falling window, and look where the rally stopped. So that is first resistance right over there. Trend is down. Once you have a falling window, that's a bear signal. It's a downtrend. And then, as I mentioned before, a doji can become resistance. And look what happened. So that would be R2. And where do you think my potential support area is? Give you a little hint. Okay, see this rising window here? It got to the bottom of the rising window. It moved under it, but didn't close under it. So that is still a support area. Same thing here. It moved under it, but didn't close under it. So on a closing basis, it's the bottom of this rising window. But on an intraday basis, which is this is the daily chart, I would make it this zone over here. Okay, right over here. And then under that, okay, the rising window. Okay, so I'm going to turn over to Paul now. Let me just, Paul, take over, and he'll give you the information about Market Central.
Thanks, Steve. Just want to make sure you can hear me and see my screen. Steve, can you let me know?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you, Steve. The analysis that Steve does is truly priceless. And even if you don't trade or look at those charts that Steve talked about already, or the ones that he's going to talk about, I mean, learning from how he looks at a chart is unbelievable to me, and it's just fascinating to watch. So we provide resources for you on a regular basis, and we do that inside of what we call Market Central. Now, I recognize some names in this room right now that are already members of Market Central. So some of the stuff, for some of you, you already know it. For everyone else, I truly hope you take full advantage of this. Market Central is our membership site where we provide ideas, guidance, and mentorship on a daily basis. And I'm going to go through that real quick, and then I'll come up to our sale that we actually have starting right now. I'm not going to read all of these to you. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them. But right here, number one, our strategy session. If you are trading or thinking about trading, a strategy session is where you can request a market to be analyzed. When I say market, it could be anything. It could be a stock, an ETF. It could be Forex, crypto, whatever. And it gets analyzed. We do this every Monday and Thursday through a video. We post that video so that you could come back in and watch it. And we do the videos because we have students in 85 different countries. So no matter what time of the day we did them live, truly doesn't matter because the recordings are posted and you can go in and watch it on your schedule. So every Monday and Thursday we do that. And this is done by Steve and our team of what we call NISSIN certified trainers. So we do this on a regular basis. Every day, Monday through Friday, we do a daily recap, kind of what Steve is doing right now, where we go over some major markets. Again, video posted by 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's New York time. Every Wednesday, we do an option session. Every Tuesday, we do a currency session. But each day, Monday through Friday, we do two different videos. A morning trade setup, meaning a trade that we're potentially doing that day with the reasons why, and where we would get in and stops and things like that. We also do a chart of the day for some education. In addition to that, we do mentorship sessions, which we have a new one coming up shortly. I'll mention that when I scroll back to the top. And a Discord group where you could post charts, questions, comments, and engage with not only our team, but with other members of Market Central. So here are a bunch of incredible testimonials from our current members. And then here I want to mention our special topics. These are all about an hour long. They are from a lot of them are taught by Steve, and a lot of them are also taught by our NISSIN certified trainers, but they are on specific topics. Now, We sell these individually for $79 or $99 each. But if you become an annual or a lifetime member, we give them all to you included in your membership. We want to take very good care of you. So instead of paying over $1,900 for these special topics, if you sign up for our annual or a lifetime plan, you get all of them. Okay? All. We get some extra bonuses. If you scroll down, you'll see our team, including myself. And now let's go back up to the top. First, for current members, you're going to be invited to a live mentorship session that I'm teaching on SASH patterns. We've been getting a lot of questions on these, and I've actually been using them for my own personal trading a lot, just because the way the markets are moving right now. SASH patterns have really stepped up. So that will be a live session and recorded. So that way everybody has a chance to be able to watch that recording. And that is a mentorship session. Again, that was right here where we take feedback from students, what they need or want to learn more about, and then we create a session. We do it live, then we post the recording. So let's talk a little bit about our 3 membership types. We offer this in a monthly plan, an annual plan, and a lifetime plan. Normally, our monthly is $159 a month, every month, for as long as you stay a member. Right now, for the next couple of days, you can sign up for a monthly plan for just $99 a month. That's not just the first month. That's for as long as you want to stay a member. You would be grandfathered in at the $99 per month rate. Okay, this is monthly, which means that at any given point you can cancel it and end it, or you can start out with a monthly and upgrade to an annual or a lifetime plan. Okay, our annual is there, meaning you could recurring membership once a year, you pay $10.25, or our lifetime plan. Normally it's $13.25, one-time payment. You're a member of Market Central for life, but we have this on sale as well, taking $250 off of that. So a one-time payment of just $10.75, and you're a lifetime member. That also, remember, includes all of those special topics and access to all of these on a regular daily basis. Okay, that's market guidance, mentorship, ideas, and insights from Steve and our team of NISN certified trainers with unbelievable confidence you'll gain by being able to watch our team look at charts. So again, I'm going to put the link right here in the chat area. It's candlecharts.com/market central. Again, you could sign up for either a monthly, an annual, or a lifetime plan. If you're already a member, you have access to all of that, but you're also going to be invited to that mentorship session on September 18th about SASH patterns, both bull and bear sashes. If you're not already a member and you want to get a little idea, these red buttons right here are just quick examples of prior chart of the day or casual trader or options outlook or currency or chart challenge, just to give you a little taste of what it looks like and what it feels like. But all these other sessions are all videos that are posted to the website. You can access it from any internet-enabled device. Again, assuming you have the internet, just log into your account at candlecharts.com and go into the Market Central section. So I'm going to hand it back to Steve. I know you want to watch him analyze a few more charts, and then I will stick on when he's done to answer any other questions. So Steve, feel free to take back control and become the presenter, and then I will mute and then stick on to answer questions after you're done. There you go.
Great, thanks, Paul. Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay, so we're going to look at PLTR now. Short-term trend is neutral, and you'd see the long lower shadows. Remember, it's not only the real bodies that give us a hint about what's happening in the market, it's the shadows, because it's showing us the market is rejecting lower levels. Is actually a hammer. The lower shadow is twice the height of the real body. And this is a pretty constructive, because a hammer could be a red or green real body. If it's a red real body, it's still a hammer, but the close is down here. The fact that it's a green real body means that it closes all the way up here. So that's a positive. The only thing I would have been careful about is, you see that tiny falling window there? That becomes a potential resistance area. And look what happened the next session. it stopped right there. But once it closed above it, that falling window's resistance is negated. You don't have to worry about it anymore. But isn't it interesting how that small falling window kept the rally in check the next day, but it did finally close above it. So let me get rid of this here. These are all the nuances you're going to be learning at Market Central, by the way. Uh, so right over there, potential support area. And you can see how it kind of coincides with the change of polarity here, 1, 2, 3 sessions. So that is actually my first support. And then under that would be this little swing low here, right over here before the big rally. As to resistance, okay, right up here. And short-term trend is neutral, but it's banging its head right at a resistance area. So that is first resistance. And then above that, I really don't see much until the change of polarity over here. We could always look at a 50% retracement here. Notice the bearish engulfing pattern here, confirmed resistance over here. So we can look at retracement. I like looking at 50%. So right over here, I'd make that R2 because a lot of traders will look at 50% corrections. Get rid of that. And then this would be R3 over there. Look at Bitcoin. Yeah, that's one of the ones we look at each day. So Bitcoin, short-term trend is neutral, up. You see higher lows, but this is called an ascending triangle. One of the great things about candles is that you could use any Western technique because candlesticks are open, high, low, and close. So are bar chart, the old bar charts. Okay, so here horizontal resistance and higher low. So there's an ascending triangle, and what that's telling us is that although the resistance is still holding pretty strongly, as the market gets higher lows, buyers are coming in more aggressively. So that's a short-term positive. It just has to close above this resistance area. And of course, what we say based on the change of polarity, if it closes above this resistance, if the market is good, this heavy resistance zone should become support. But anyway, R1, and then the change of polarity here, which was confirmed. See all the support here, here, and here. And R2 is over there. Normally, I'm not big on angled trend lines, but this was tested so often, I am going to use it as a potential support area, but I'd make it a zone. So I'm going to make it from the lows here because you could see we had three consecutive days here. Okay, so from here to here might be my first support, and then we could see a bullish engulfing pattern right over here, the green wrapping around the red, confirming a prior low. So that increases the likelihood of a market turn. If you have a candle signal confirming a support or resistance area, increases the likelihood of a market turn. In addition, if you look at the lows over here, just a swing, notice right over there. See this congestion area here? And that's what held over there. So short-term trend is up neutral. And the reason I'm nudging a little bit to neutral is because of the resistance area. And let's look at a Forex market. Let's look at the yen. And even if you don't trade Forex, doesn't matter. Same strategies. What's nice about Forex is when we talk about bearish signals, normally with equities, most of us are not going to sell short. So when we talk about negative signals, you could use that as a sign to lighten up on longs and move up protective stops, whatever. But when we're talking about Forex, or even in equities, if you trade options, obviously you can do bear trades. It's a lot easier to short, but Forex is really easy to short. So anyway, classic box range. The Japanese call it a box range when the market's in a lateral trading environment. And this is why I love box ranges. Stole the top end of the box, the target is the bottom end of the box. It held here with the hammer-like session. So the target would be the top end. And you could see that long lower shadow. Market made a classic hammer, confirming the support area there. And I would actually make this a zone. Okay, you see all the support. So this would be my first support. and resistance would be up there, and then it would be the high of the bearish engulfing pattern. One of the little nuances, and I don't place much emphasis on it, but it's something to look out for. When you have a really long red real body, sometimes the middle of the red real body, it's kind of like a correction, 50% correction. Sometimes the middle of the red real body becomes a resistance area. It's not highly reliable, but it's interesting that it worked this time. And that's true with a green real body also. If you have a really, really long green body, sometimes 50% within that green real body can become support. Anyway, resistance, R1, R2, support, potential support, and then we have the whole zone over here as next support. So that wraps it up. I'll turn it over to Paul now for any questions, and thank you for joining me. And again, hope you got a sense of the type of insights you'll get, whether you trade these markets or not. So over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Steve. And I just want to congratulate. I saw 3 orders come in for the lifetime Market Central. So you have immediate access, and you'll be getting a welcome email from me just bringing you in and kind of showing you the introductory steps to take. Really not hard. You just log into your account at candlecharts.com. After you log in, click on My Courses, and you'll see right there Market Central. Click on that, and you'll come to all the videos. You'll even be able to watch today's videos that were uploaded just prior to this session. So you'll have access completely up to date and ready to go. Again, someone just asked me, why would we offer an annual plan? Well, we normally offer an annual plan because there are people that sometimes want to just sign up for an annual. We did not put that on sale today. So if you look at the difference in price between an annual of $10.25 and the sale price of lifetime, which is only $10.75, so for just $50 more, you would have lifetime access, meaning you pay one time for the $10.75. Again, the link is candlecharts.com/market central. Let's see if I can put that in again. Nope. I'll type it in. And we look forward to working with you over there at Market Central and inside of candlecharts.com. So thank you, Steve, so much for taking the time to do the session today. And for those of you watching this, I do hope that you understand today was just a quick, brief touch, or a taste, I should say, of the kind of analysis that you get on a daily basis by being a member of Market Central. So I want to thank you all. Have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to working with you here at candlecharts.com. Bye for now.